I'm gonna start the playthrough now. Remember, I've played a little bit of one game, but this is a mostly uninformed playing, and don't expect anything good coming out of this, except exploration of the system and discovery. You know, some people expect more. Okay, so I'm gonna randomize the event, and because it's a small deck, instead of shuffling and dividing, I do it this way. Odd is low, 1, it'll be the top card. There's no event. Okay. Well, that was easy enough. And I put that over here. So, I think Sparta has to go first. I gotta look this up. Again, it's really hard to find stuff in this rule book because it's just so full of pictures and materials. Let me make sure. And then they have this, the player with the most prestige draws the event card thing, you know, as the first thing, and you jump to that, where the ties go to the Athenians, but I'm pretty sure they go to the Spartans. Okay, so what do I want to do here? That's a good question. I'm trying to improve my situation overall. I'm interested in some things. So let's see what we have. We have Temple Festival and Statue available. So we could buy this for a couple of wood. He doesn't have any statues. He could get this pretty easily. So I might want to grab claim to that, as that's the only one that I can grab. 2 wood for a prestige is a pretty good deal. But I don't think I have to do it right away. I could end up getting lost though. So what I have is 3 hoplites. That's my size, basically. And I'm going to be able to trade wood in for wheat. That's a good deal. Or olives in for wheat. I think I'm actually going to kick things off by trading this, because it's possible that Athens could cut me off from that pretty easily. I saw that happen in my last game. So what happens is, I put this over here, I claim that. I look over here, olives exchange rate is 3, so I spend 3 olives and I get 3 wheat. And I roll a die to decrease the price of olives. And that'll move 3 this way. And you can see now that same exchange would cost me 4 olives to get the 3 wheat. So getting that jump is kind of a nice thing. But what is my other action? I think I also want to make this trade up here. So I'm going to spend a wood to convert one of my Spartans into another ship. And that transfers the active player over. I took my 2 actions. I found this very, very hard to deal with when I was playing before. Let me think about Athens now. So, Athens is less likely to lose trading capability. I actually have, wow, is that right? I have 5 hoplites to begin with? That seems so many. Yeah. Athens starts out in a stronger position initially. Historically, this was kind of a high point for them, relatively. So what are my goals? Well, I have theater, artist, philosopher, which means I can only get this one. That's going to take a metal, 2 wood, and 2 silver. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spend a prestige, and I'm going to do this mechanically full out here. I'm only allowed 3 units in Athens, so I might as well do this. And I am going to grab myself 6 silver. Silver is incredibly valuable compared to the other materials. And now I get a disc there, and these return. Normally I'm going to shortcut that and not play out the tokens all over the place. Now I can't do the same action here. You can only do one action once. Which means I can trade metal or wine for grain. And if I look here, I'm facing different things. The prices aren't going to change against me. It is conceivable that this space could be taken to Spartan navies there, but that doesn't cut me off from Persis. I could hit it from up here, I think. Well, actually, you know, the trade routes don't go through there. I think maybe it does cut it off. Interesting. It's hard to tell what they're trying to express with the trade route rule, but if it means anything, it means that I actually have to follow. This is the only entrance into Persia. Oh. And that kind of doesn't affect any of the others. All of the others have many entrances. Okay. So if that's the case, maybe I'm a little worried about that. And I will send 3 grapes for 3 grain. That's the price. We get a 4. Okay. And now, and I'm using these 2 dice to mark who's up next, because this way I can take a pause. I'm able to work today, not because of psychological reasons like yesterday, and not because of upcoming PTO that I have to eat up either, like the next couple days, but because my computer's got to update, and it's doing a big one. It's going to take several hours, and I may end up missing some meetings I want to be in, and why I'm actually working today instead of kicking another day out. Okay. Because I'm not in great shape still, but what do we got here? We're on the Spartans, and we want to get more stuff, whatever that means. Macedonia is an interesting location. It has grain. Arcania has silver, both valuable things. And it's reasonably easy to take. If we take a look at the very easy to take, like automatic Thessalia, it doesn't produce a whole lot that I necessarily want. So, what I think I'm going to do, see, here's the problem. Arcania, Athens can reach there. So I'm going to spend, and I'll do this rather deliberately so you can see, I'm going to spend 1 to move, a prestige to move, and I can either go by sea or I can walk by land, because there's nothing in my way in either case, up to Arcania. And then for the second action, I'm going to spend again, and I'm going to launch a siege. Now all I need to do is roll a 2 or higher. Why did I move 3 units? Well, because that's my maximum, and if I'm going to, once I capture it, if I'm going to take tribute from them, I want to get the most that I can. I roll a 2, that's all I need. So I have succeeded in taking Corcyra. That's worth 2 prestige for me. I grab it. It has a population of 2 people. I'll put them over here for now. It doesn't give me anything particularly special there. I've done my 2 actions. I get a disc there, and we move this over here. I got a bigger problem here with the Athenians because I don't have a lot of... And why don't I have a lot of prestige left? Did I spend a prestige I shouldn't have? I think I did. I think I spent a prestige putting this in play. Oh shit! Oh shit. I didn't want to do this with Sparta either. So let me rewind a couple of things. God damn it. Because I didn't want to move out of Sparta. I thought I took care of that already. So let's put them back here. This here. Fuck. We're at 3 prestige. This is gone. This is gone. Let's just undo a lot of things. For Athena, I think we're at 3 prestige because I did not move any of my forces. Okay. Let's go back to what Sparta's going to do. Oh, shit. So I want to collect from Sparta first, where I don't pay, because it's for Sparta, for my prestige action of collecting tribute. My tribute will be these 3 guys, and I want... Why do I have silver and green? I traded for the green. I want to take 3 silver, 1, 2, 3, and 1 Oriole. These go back. The disc goes here. What else do I do? Well, do I have wood? I do. Do I need wood? I do. That kind of sucks, but I think I want to trade my wood, and I'll figure out how to get more wood if I want to build that statue. So I will be trading 3 wood for 3 grain. That's that. And now I roll. And that goes forward 4. And I hate 4-sided dice because I'm never convinced that they're rolling accurately. Now we're on Athens. Athens is going to do something like what Sparta did. Now I got to make my decision which I want most. Do I want silver from Arcania or Acarnania, or do I want wheat from Macedonia? And it may actually be based on, do I want wood for something? What I'm building is this theater. I need metal, wood, and silver for it. I'm going to go for the silver from Arcania. So I am going to spend 1, move these here, spend another 1 for the siege, just like the Spartans did. Roll a die, I get a 1. Not a good result. One of my guys dies. Now I'm in trouble because I only have 1 prestige left. If I succeed in taking this, I get some prestige back. Another option is I could just, demand tribute from Samos, but then I'm done with military actions. So that ends up being a more problematic situation. There's another problem. Sparta gets to go, and they could shift up here too and take it, and then leave Athens in kind of a tricky position. And I think that sounds appealing. So since I was going to do that anyway, let's move the Spartans up here. That's not going to force a combat. There's not 8 or more units there. Now, hold on. Before I do that, let me check the siege rules. Do you have to have... Yeah, you have to control the territory in order to do a siege, which means right now Athens can't siege that city, and if Sparta takes it, Athens is just left there without being able to do much about it, which is an interesting situation. Okay. Now Sparta will play their siege for that city, and as long as they don't get a 1, good stuff happens. They get a 2, So that gives me Corcyra with its 2 population, a disc, 2 prestige, and Athens is in trouble. Athens has 1 prestige left, and that's it. At this point, since I'm not going to be compiling much more tribute, I can pretty much determine what Athens' remainder of their turn is going to be. So I could take from Ionia, and that's probably a good thing. That'll get me 3 silver, which I want to get. But in addition, there are a few other things I could do. I still have trade opportunity here, where I could trade metal for grain. I don't see much else I want to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend a wood and turn an Athenian into a boat. Now, into a merchant. I could do more than one of these, but each one costs a population, each one costs a wood. I don't want to spend my resources particularly. So that's the first thing. The second thing I do is I'm going to trade up here, and I give 3 metal for 3 grain. Just had to make sure that I had it right, the number, and I roll to see how much the price of metal decreases. Not much at all. But as long as it's not on that 0 column, you're not getting you're not getting an even trade anymore. That puts it on Sparta. Sparta can take from Acarnania. That seems like a good idea. So we'll do that. Make sure I haven't cheated anything. That cost me a prestige because that is not my home territory. That was the issue before. I'll show you what I do. Well, this is Arcadia, not Acarnania. Where's Acarnania? It's up here. Okay, so I have 3 pips. I'm going to take 3 silver and either a metal or a wine. I really would have liked a wood, not a wood. Yeah, a wood, so that I could build this. I would like a wood production place. But this is not that. So let's take 3 silver, because I like silver. And let's take, I don't know, a metal. Maybe I'll build a hoplite. These get, oh, these don't get reduced, so that's a good reason to take that. And I put a disc there. That's the first action I do. My second action, which I must do, and this is where things get problematic. Now, I could spend silver for these wood, I think. If I so desired. Yeah. Each type can be completely substituted by an equal amount of silver. Which sounds like you can't, like, pay some wood and some silver to make up for it. Okay. So yeah, for 2 silver I could get one of these. That's interesting. I don't have any more of these. I do have 2 prestige left, which is useful because that means I can still move somewhere and either conquer another place or just levy a tax if I want it easier. I could levy the tax there and gain goodies. Now, it would cost me a couple silver to grab an area. And grabbing areas is not, without an army present, is not necessarily terribly useful. One of the problems I have is this army is kind of doing me good as long as it's preventing the Athenians from taking my city from me. I'm not sure how much they want it, because they're not going to be able to get resources from it this turn. The neat thing is, armies don't cost you food, but population does. So I could start building up an army just as kind of a matter of, so I don't have to pass. I don't want to pass. I don't want to move these forces. What am I left that I can do? Well, not a lot of things. I could create another merchant, but I don't have wood. There really isn't a whole lot I can do. And if I don't take an action at this point, I've got a problem. So I'm going to spend a metal and create another hoplite. And that puts it over here. Of the 3 hours of updates I'm facing is half done. Okay. I have no idea. What about... Okay. So, if I don't do something, I'm not going to be able to siege this. What is the some things I might do? Well, I might create hoplites or boats or something like that. I need to create this theater if I'm going to create it. So let's buy that. That's a metal, 2 wood, and 2 silver. And we move that over here, and for some reason we turn this like this and put it here. We're not going to lose Athens, so no big deal. Another action. Well, do I want to take from Ionia? I think the answer is yes, rather than try to attack that or whatever. So I'm going to spend a prestige to take from Ionia, and I will take 2 silver, 2 expenditures of silver. Now, Chios actually has 2 people, so if I had a metal available extra, I could have thrown another guy there and created 3 things. But instead, I'll just buy myself some silver, and we'll see how that goes. I'm at 0 prestige. That's not good. I have enough food for all my people, so I'm not in too bad a state. Back to Sparta. What has Sparta got? Sparta's got a couple of prestige. We can see Athens has no more prestige, so they're not going to siege me. That's kind of cool. What do I want? Well, I wanted wood. Macedonia is good at producing wood. And I could get an extra grain. I'm a little short on grain there. Of course, if I take Macedonia, I'll be even shorter. How's Thessalia? Thessalia is good at wood as well, and is just about as good overall. I am going to spend... See, I get prestige back this way. That's the advantage. If I spend 1 to go there and 1 to attack, I'd be out of prestige, though. So what if I do this, move here, and then I launch a siege, which is automatically successful. I can't roll not a 1. And so I get Nopkos with its 1 population, and that gets me a prestige back. Whee! We're back here. Okay. We did not have much left to do. I have a grape I can't really use. I have no trades left that I can do. I think Athens is passing at this point, which means Sparta can do as many as they like. And no, there was no war, you know, I mean, other than capturing these cities. I could move my armies, but I don't really want to do that. There's no real goal to it. I want to I need to do this. Okay, so that's Thessalia. I need to use 2 of the men at least to create wood. And I will create a grain. Although there's a question, you know, is 3 wood better than 1 grain? I don't know, but I got a lot of people. Grain seems of some value. Okay, and I get a disc on Thessalia. And that knocks my prestige down to 0, which is a little dangerous, right? Not much, but... Okay, and now I can spend 2 wood to build myself this statue. And I'll build it here. It's not a great move. I can keep going, though. Is there more I want to do? I don't see anything that I terribly want to do, so I pass 2 at this point. And that throws me to the end of the round, and I'll open up the rule book. I have everything here. First projects are taken care of. We'll do these guys first. 3 prestige for the theater. And that's worth another prestige at the end of the game. 1 prestige for this statue. And no extra value. Okay. Supplies. Again, I'll do Athens first. I've got 4, 5, 6, 7 food that I have to spend. I'll spend it. I could throw prestige away. I don't think I can throw silver away, which I thought I could do before. Yeah. I could return some things. I chose not to. I'm kind of at my starting location, so... Sparta has more problems, though. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 food. I would have to spend my prestige, and that would lose me the game, because I'd be at 0 prestige at the end of the turn. Don't want to do that. So what do I want to give back? I'll give this back. So now I'm at 2, 4, 6, 7 food. Do I want to hold all of these? Well, I don't know. You know, it's kind of hard to tell but food doesn't really last. But the thing I could do is I could grow food and get prestige off of it. But I'll just spend my food and see how that works. Growth. Sparta has no growth available to them. Athens has some, though. I have 3 food. If I don't spend it, I lose it, rounded up from what I can tell. So I certainly want to spend 1. Now here's the tricky part. Do I want to spend it from Athens? Not really. That's the hardest place for me to get any. So I'll spend 1 there. And I will grow Chios. And I'll spend another 1 and another 1. And I'll take an extra piece here. These guys are at maximum now, and I'll take my last extra piece there. If I didn't take the piece in Athens, I would lose that extra grain, so I might as well take the extra guy. I'm hoping I can at least turn him into a hoplite or a galley or something, because otherwise there's a problem where I might have to feed him. Okay, megalopolises. I have none for Sparta, but Athens has 1, 2. This is at even, so I get 2 prestige for that. So in a way, it looks like Athens is actually doing better, even though Sparta has an extra city. Storage. Now, again, it says here, in this phase, the player loses half their perishable goods in their storage, rounding up the remainder. Boy, is that vague. I'm assuming rounding up the loss. But, yeah, so is it the remainder of the division by half, which is what I'm assuming they mean, or is it the remainder of what the goods are? I'm assuming it's the other. So we lose those. And then over here, we lose an oil, and we lose a couple of grapes. And then we'd be allowed to trade prestige in exchange for silver. All that seems like a bad idea. Prestige is victory points in the game and is very useful towards getting goods. So now we go to prep for next round. The round track marker moves. All the tribute box circles are emptied. Every merchant goes back to the merchant box space. Make sure I got that right, but I'm pretty sure you don't have to buy a new merchant every turn. Yep, trade port. Projectiles that were on the game board go away. We have a couple of extra counters in the game. I haven't figured out a use for them. Just to show you which player you are in case you don't notice your player board. Or your color pieces or something. And then we get 3 new ones. Now these were shuffled to some degree. We got a festival, another theater, and another festival. I'm able to take a festival in Sparta, and obviously the theater in Athens. With 2 festivals to choose, I'm going to shift this. This one's just 1 silver more for another prestige. That's probably a good deal. Okay. What's next? A new event card. Okay, I gotta shuffle those and roll dice for them. Round of my update says it's at 100% and it's still spinning away. No event again. Well, that's exciting. Okay. So the big deal now is that we're at 4, which means each area can have 4 pieces of each other player. If both players have 4 pieces in an area, land or sea, then there's the potential for battle to actually happen. And these 4-point trade locations are now available, so there's room for more merchants to operate. Who has the least prestige? That's Sparta. They're not doing well at all. I thought they were doing better in a lot of ways. Hey, they cut Athens out here and everything, but by not doing as militarily well, Athens is doing better prestige. This might negate, though, because I've got a lot of population, which is how you get lots of prestige, but it's also how you end up getting yourself in trouble in other ways and collapsing. That puts me to the next turn. I'm going to load this sucker up and, well, stop talking, I guess.